Thank you for joining another live on Instagram. And I just want to say that I'm going to be sharing a topic that I have not talked about here on my channel, and that is going to be PCOS. And I have a really exciting guest that's going to be joining us today, who has a lot of experience with this. And her name is Tal, and she goes by Tal Has Goals, which name I think that's a great one. Maybe I'll change mine to Kevin Has Goals. Out of inspiration from her. But she's going to share her story, and she has an incredible, powerful story that I just know that everyone is going to enjoy. And if you know someone that is dealing with some of the things that she's talking about, please pass this along, share them, invite them, tag them. Hello, Tal, how's it going? Thank you for
I am
joining us.
good. Thank you for having me. Like, really, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And I mean, the first time I've been watching your journey for a while, and like from afar, like you know what I mean? Like I see you on the calls, on the Million Mom movement, always so active, engaged, and I've just seen you grow so much. And like I just want to say I'm so inspired by you. And I just know that you keep up what you're doing, like you can have anything you want, you know. And I think that you're on a great path, and I'm so excited for you, and I'm excited for you to share what you have to share with everyone as well. So, um, if you don't mind, if I go ahead and start, tell us a little bit about your healing journey. What has it been like for you so far to up to this point?
Yeah, I just want to take a moment first before I start and just say, Kevin, your reels are hysterical and they are so like, oh my gosh, I love following them. I think you're spot on with just sharing your life just naturally and organically. And I mean, we all know that reels are kind of put together and all of that, but it just feels so good, and you just really showing the best part of you. And I really enjoy watching and following you. So thank you for that. And then I also want to thank you for bringing this subject forward. I mean, as a man, this is not something that you personally have suffered with. So it always brings me joy to see when a man is interested in this subject and sharing it, because, you know, you may have sisters, you have a mom, you know, there are women in your family. And so, and in your circle and in your life and so forth. So
70% of my followers are females, actually.
beautiful, beautiful. So I'm really glad that we're talking about this. I share about my journey and my recovery with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, wildly, like wildflower. It's like I anyone who's willing to listen, I'm willing to share, because it's really a very, it's a sensitive subject, and not a lot of women are very open about, you know, their menstrual cycle and what that looks like, unless they're talking with their you know, their partner, spouse, or whatever, or with their doctor. Other than that, you know, maybe their mom might know, you know, but other than that, we really don't talk about it. And that's usually where a lot of the misinformation comes from, because there is no information. Right? Yeah. So back when I was 13 was when this all started, right? When I started writing, and of it then, but having a regular cycle was not something that was normal for me. I went in and out of having cycles. I just figured maybe I needed time to catch up with my friends. I had no idea what was going on. And the solution that my gynecologist gave me, because that was when you start seeing a gynecologist, was to start birth control. Okay, I mean, I wasn't sexually active, but all right, I guess this is going to make it normal. And it did. It totally normalized, scheduled it, and so forth. And I was an athlete, so I really needed to get it under control, because I couldn't perform at my best if I was cycling for 2 months, right? That's just not going to work. So I accepted it. My mom accepted it. We went on our way. And then I started noticing at about age 19 or so that weight started tacking on, and I wasn't sure why. You know, I was training for Wimbledon, I was on the Jamaica swim team, I was very athletic with track and field, I was a freaking step aerobics instructor. You know, I'm like, why is this weight coming on? I don't understand. This looks like it's past genetics. You know, it's not just that, you know, I'm from Jamaica, so it's not just that we all have a big rump a dump and big boobs. It's different. This is different, right? And I just didn't think that there was going to be any other response. And when you talk about it to your doctors, like, yeah, I put on weight, and they're like, oh, well, you should probably think about losing 10 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. Yeah, that's it. There was no real diagnosis for PCOS back then. And I'm not sure if it's because I was in Jamaica, why I didn't have that diagnosis, or it could just be at the time there was no title for it. So I just kind of went along with it, and then I moved to the US, and, long story short, standard American diet, packed on another 100 pounds, and, then was finally
So really
diagnosed.
quick, at this point, like you were already gaining some weight, and then you
Yeah.
another 100 pounds on.
Oh yeah, because now I
Oh
moved to
wow.
the US, so I didn't have any. I wasn't doing tennis anymore, or swimming. I didn't have any coaches. I didn't have to jump in a pool at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was like I was very inactive, and I was going to school, and I was a starving student. So I would wait tables and then go home and do my projects, and so forth. So I wasn't active at all. And it was like a vacation. I was like, yay, no coaches. I don't have to do this. And I have no parents watching down my back, and I can do what I want. And it wasn't until my boyfriend, then husband now, and we got married, and we decided to start a family, that's when I got diagnosed because you'd come off the birth control and you're waiting, waiting. Cycle's not coming. What's going on? So you go to the doctor. They did scans and they realized, oh my, you have PCOS. Well, that was the first time I ever heard of it. The very first time. And I was 28 at the time, or 29 at the time. And so it was just like, wow, there's actually a name for this. That totally threw me, absolutely threw me. And turned out that I had a pretty severe case of PCOS. And what it is, um, basically it's you have a virus, and there is like a case that captures the virus, and that's the cyst, right? And so the cyst is protecting your body from the virus spreading everywhere, right? And so one cyst can then develop into another, and as the virus grows, you get more and more and more cysts. And when you have these cysts, it will block the passage of your egg falling and having a natural cycle. And so I had a lot of cysts. They couldn't count how many. There were so many. There was no passageway at all. And then there was tissue, and it was a hot mess. And so yeah, again, drugs. Let's put some chemical stuff into your body to try to clear this up, and get you pregnant. So God willing, I got pregnant twice. I had two beautiful children, and then went right back to PCOS again, existing in my life. And I wasn't quite sure why. It didn't make any sense. We were able to pause it, but we weren't able to get rid of it. Why can't we just get rid of it? Well, I had to just accept that this is how I was going to live. I was going to have PCOS until the day I finally hit menopause, and that was going to be it, right? Of course, PCOS does lead to other ailments eventually. There's a lot of weight gain with that. A lot of women experience thyroid issues. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and I became diabetic, type 2
Diabetes.
diabetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that trickle effects. There's other ailments that can come with it. So I kind of did luck out, if you call that lucky. And but it was really the struggle was real. I mean, it was real. The struggle was real. And any woman out there with PCOS knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's not fun. It's very painful. The migraines are severe. The cramps are severe. The wardrobe changes are intense, like daily and constantly. It's quite an expense too. I mean, all the products that you have to buy to take care of yourself, it does add up. And so when I found the solution, Kevin, the solution that you and I have found, um, recovering from PCOS was so far away from my expectation. This was not ever going to go away. This is not why I did superfoods. I did it really to lose weight. And I also did it just to prove to my friend that it wasn't going to work because I had tried so many other products before. So I
That's
was
funny.
like, I'll just do this to support your business and I'll show you it doesn't work so you can stop recommending it to people. And of course, I was wrong and she was right, clearly. And have managed to lose 80 pounds in the space of 2 years. After 3 months, I lost 31 pounds. And after that 3 months, everything everything turned upside down on its head in a positive way. Meaning, I started feeling different inside my body in that yes, I was feeling amazing. Those for the first time I was having it, the energy was coming on, all the headaches were going away, all this stuff. But then there came a point where it was for about a couple of weeks that I was starting to feel like tipsy turvy, like really weird, sort of out of body kind of weird. There's no word for it. I don't know. But I tell you what I know now is that I was over medicated because my body was now correcting itself from all the wrong naturally and with these organic superfoods, that the counteraction of the Western medicine was just totally throwing me off balance. And I just inside of me intuitively just decided, you know what, I am not going to pick up my next round of prescriptions. I'm just going to give this a week, maybe two, and see, you know, I warned my husband. I told him I'm not taking my meds. So if I die, this is why. Okay, just so you know, right? And that was the last
It's
time I
so
ever
funny we
took
think
anything.
that, huh?
Was that?
It's so funny we think that, huh?
Yeah. And then that was it. I never took another prescribed medication or over-counter medication ever again. That was the end of my marriage with ibuprofen and NyQuil just to get some sleep. And my PCOS has been recovered. There's no other. Now, I'm not making claims that this is the way to go for every single woman out there, but what I will say is that a clean and organic nutrition is going to help you no matter what. Okay. And the most important part of that nutrition is gut health. And we actually do have an incredible staple product that, oh my gosh, I love so much, that has truly changed the trajectory of everything in my life, that has managed to remove the toxins that are in my gut so that I can absorb all the nutrients, so that my cells can suck them up and love them up, and heal them up. And so that's what I'll say. I'll say that we're not healers, right? We're not doctors. We're not magicians, but there is magic in these superfoods. I'll say that, right?
Yeah, I feel like your story is in a way similar for the timing, but also different in like the direction that I went. Like at 29 was like when I had like kind of like an awakening, like I need to make a shift, something's happening, I
Mm-hmm.
need to make a change in my life. But at that moment, I was starting some medication and I had an adverse reaction to the medication. Not
Mm-hmm.
adverse, I would say normal reaction to the medication, but it scared me enough to stop it. I was like, oh, nope, I'm not doing this right now. I stopped it like pretty like right away, and then
Yeah.
went into how do I fix this naturally? You know what I mean? And it progressed over several years, from 29 to now I'm 33, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it progressed over several years before I found these superfoods, right?
It's
Um,
interesting that you say that, though, because not a lot of people understand what their body feels like or what their body's supposed to feel like. I was definitely one of those people. I was a really good doctor's patient, and I did everything I was supposed to do and told to do like clockwork. And I don't know, it wasn't until I came out of the fog that I was in, because I was a total disbeliever, right? So I needed these superfoods in my body first to clear the fog that I had been living under for so many years, to be able to say, oh, this is what my body's supposed to feel like? Oh, well, this is way better than what that was. I'm going this direction. I'm not, bye-bye, I'm not doing that anymore. So, but you had the opposite, where you already knew that by taking these medications that something was a little wrong. I just figured, well, it's a little wrong, but they say I need it, so
I
here we
knew it was
go.
wrong. I knew that there might be something wrong when they said I need to take a tuberculosis test before I
Mm.
take this medication, because if I have tuberculosis, it could kill me. And that
Oh,
the purpose of the drug was to weaken the immune system for my autoimmune disease. So that's when I knew
which
I
is
was at like
definitely
a
something you don't need going on in these days,
yeah, never like no
never ever.
ever. When do you ever need the drug to weaken your immune system? But that's what
No,
the
never
drugs
ever.
are. That's what the drugs do for autoimmune, right? Because that's the idea, right? So, okay, so I want to ask you another question. Okay, so for those that are maybe listening, watching, maybe haven't experienced with this, what like tips would you give to them with PCOS? What kind of tips, maybe lifestyle changes can they do?
Oh, oh my gosh. Can I go hardcore?
Whatever tips you got.
I'll okay. First thing,
There's several, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm going to share with everyone what was shared with me on a live that I did earlier this morning, because we're all about spreading the word of everything, right? And sharing each other's stories. And Heather, whom I had interviewed this morning, said something that has just stayed with me all day. She said, you do not have to be the label. And I was like, snap, that is so good. Because for so long, I lived under the labels I was given. I have hypertension, I am diabetic, I have PCOS, depression, this, that, 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 that. I had these labels. Oh, yeah, and I'm a mom and a wife and a business owner, but I had all these labels. And it's so right. You do not have to live with the label of PCOS or any other ailment that you're suffering from. The second thing I'd say is suffering is a choice. It most certainly is a choice. And if you're out there and you are suffering, you don't see it yet. You can't see past that. And I get it. I totally get it. I was right there. And you're a hardcore disbeliever. Anything that Kevin says to you or anything that I say to you, you can't hear it. The blinders are on. You can't see it. It doesn't make any sense. It sounds like gibberish. But what you have to know is that Kevin is a trustworthy human. I'm a trustworthy human. We are in a community of trustworthy humans. So we can see further than you can see. And a lot of times it just takes that one friend to hold your hand and show you which direction you need to go to. That's the second thing I would say. Trust. You don't have to be a label, and trust. And the third thing I would say is, for goodness sake, get in on it already. Like, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Seriously, there's a 60-day money back guarantee. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Literally nothing to lose. If it doesn't work for you, if you hate it, if it's just not your thing, return it. It's okay. When I first purchased it, that's what made me purchase, was 60 days, the money back guarantee. And I said to my friend, all right, I'm putting it in my calendar because I know this isn't going to work. And this is a date that I'm going to return it, just so you know. Well, I was wrong and she was right, because she could see further than I could. Right. And, really just listen to your body. Like, seriously, just try to go into some meditative state. Just know that what is going on with you is not normal. It's just not normal. It's not okay. And it's really okay to say, no, I've had enough. I'm done. It really is. I love all the hearts. Thanks, guys. So we're like hearting, hearting, hearting.
I had a guess. I think it's Ruth, if I were to guess.
Thanks, Ruth.
That's my guess. That was amazing and incredible tips and amazing story. And you share it so well, and you're helping so many, and you're a huge inspiration to so many. And I'm just so proud of you, and I can't wait to see, what comes next for you. And is there anything else that maybe you want to share with before we let you go?
I just want to let you know that, the sun is bright and it's shining in all of our souls. And we just need to open that door or crack a window and let the sun shine in, because we all have it. We're born with it. Don't
Absolutely.
let anyone dim your light ever. I love you.
I love
Thank
that.
you for
Love
having
you.
me on.
And take care.
Take care. Bye.